Yeah, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
It's the king and the Mack, picking the plays, reloaded and checking the stats. Straight from the D, straight from the tracks. Sports, we into all that. Talking teams like barbershop way back in the day, yeah. Updates every morning, yeah, we catching them plays. Die hard, been doing this so long, don't even try hard. Sports City, you know we gotta talk about it. If you disagree, then we talk about it. Let's talk. See, career, trash, it's over for him. He done. And one more loss in the series, they gon' overperform. It's the king and the Mack, picking the players, reloading and checking the stats. We checking from the D, yeah, straight from the track.
Let's go.
Sports, we into that.
Yes, sir.
Talking teams like barbershops way back in the day. Updates every morning, yeah, we catching them plays.
Welcome to the King and Mack Sports Show. Give it up to that intro, man. The brother is on our team, he's family, and that gets me fired up every time I hear it. This is King, again, of the King and Mack Sports Show. I want to bring on my co-host and let him introduce himself.
Good morning, family. It's Anthony Stafford McDonald, the man that uses almost every letter in the alphabet in his name. Glad to be here again.
That's Mack's son that's doing that intro, man. The intro hot, man. The intro get you going, ready to talk sports, man.
Absolutely.
A lot of stuff going on in the sports field, and we just want to touch on a few things, man. One of the big stories of the week was Michigan State's head football coach receiving an extension. He hasn't signed it yet, but it's a contract that's on the table for 10 years for $95 million. Give it up to Mel Tucker doing his thing, man.
Absolutely. Well deserved. Deserved.
And then he's 49 years old, so he's been coaching, for a number of years, man. He started, ironically, as a grad assistant at Michigan State University. His first coaching position was right there under Nick Saban, and he's matriculated from there. He's coached at Alabama. He's coached at Ohio State. He coached head coach at Colorado, and then Michigan State got him 2 years ago to be their head coach, and he's doing a great job, Matt.
Absolutely. I think that the reality is Michigan State has made an investment. They want to have a stakeholder at that head coaching position. There were some other schools looking at him, LSU being one of them. So I'm glad that Michigan State did what they needed to do to put a real offer on the table and make it a very comfortable situation so that he can just focus on winning championships.
No doubt, though. And as you said, it was some other schools looking at Coach Tucker. And he had leverage. I mean, timing is everything, man, in business. And he had leverage, and Michigan State ponied up the money. A couple of the alumni came up with the resources, for him. A couple of billionaires, man. And I've been hearing a lot in the community, man, about people complaining about Tucker getting that kind of money and, it's too early and this, that, and the other. But it ain't your money.
Absolutely.
These guys got billions of dollars. If they want to give a football coach, some of their money, to keep him there, and he's doing a great job. I mean, he's 2-0 against their arch rival, the University of Michigan. I mean, he's doing a great job, man. And one thing too, full disclosure, I mean, I coach in the public school league, so I see Coach Tucker in and around Detroit, man, recruiting. Giving young people opportunity to go up to Michigan State, and man, he's ferocious about the sport, man, about football and about building men. So, again, kudos to Coach Tucker. He hasn't signed it yet. I mean, I wish he would have signed it before yesterday, man. They had a tough outing yesterday, but
they got shellacked.
Yeah, Ohio State. They had to go to Columbus, man, and play Ohio State on yesterday, and did not go well for the Spartans. But again, the check is, the contract is on the table. Hopefully he will sign it very soon, and he will be in the fold for the next 10 years, man. I think the guy's going to do a great job. at Michigan State. I think he's the ultimate, football coach. He's a football guy. He's a very serious guy.
Absolutely.
He's not there to joke around, play around. He want to build a program, man. He want to build. He feels that it's a destination job. It's a job where he can retire from, and that's the way he came in, the same way. And he's no nonsense, man. Like I said, I met him a couple times, and he's a no nonsense guy. He's serious about what he want to do, and he loved that brand, man. He loved that Michigan State brand. So, yeah, Mel Tucker, congratulations, and wish you well, brother, and what you're doing.
We look forward to having him call in to the show or have an opportunity to spend some time with us. We can ask a couple questions. If he does anything like Izzo has done off the court, I think for the first time Michigan State has a dual threat in their coaching profile. Izzo has his own foundation. He does a lot of different things off the court. So I think Tucker will do some similar things, but it's great to have a program not just known for one sport. So I think he's going to do some great things, and they've given him a platform to be able to really put his stamp on that football team.
And I agree. But did you get a chance to check out any of the game yesterday? Again, Michigan State was on the losing end of a 56-7
it was pretty bad.
Beat down.
49-0 at halftime.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything like that on the collegiate level in a long time, especially when it was two teams that were in the top 10. We expected, a more competitive match.
They broke records. There's never been 6 touchdowns
they did,
scored like that. It looked like a pro team. I mean, it was an air show. It's like the beating that kept on giving because it just didn't stop. I was like, okay. Usually, and you know this as a coach, at a certain point, you kind of put the B team in, or you put, other players that don't get time, or you put the seniors in that haven't gotten a chance. And I mean, everybody that touched that field was getting it. I was like, where's the Michigan State run game, the one that ran all over University of Michigan? It just wasn't there. I mean, they just got annihilated. And it was like they were trying to send a statement to let Michigan know that they're next.
I agree. Not to cut you off, Mack, but I agree that it was a message that they wanted to send. They wanted to send to folk up north that here we come. And they took care of their business, man. But I know in sports, man, you can't judge a game by the previous game.
Absolutely.
Games are played on the field on that day. So everybody looking at the way Michigan State got beat, saying University of Michigan gonna get beat the same way, and this, that, and the other. It's a different kind of ball game, bro. And watch and see. It may be a different outcome as well. I mean,
and Michigan tried to let people know that they're no lightweights because they took care of Maryland too.
Exactly. They did. They took care of their business. They were 59-18 victorious over the University of Maryland on yesterday as well. Jim Harbaugh was brought to the University of Michigan for big games, man, for games against Ohio State and Michigan State, and he hasn't done well at all against Ohio State. He has no victories, believe it or not, against Ohio State. He's 0-7.
Absolutely.
So we just got to look forward to this year, man. I think this team's a little bit different though than what he's had.
Dual threat
previously.
Running backs. He's never had that.
And the defense is tough, man. He got some NFL players, man, on that defense. That defensive line, Ajabo and Hutchinson.
Adian is a beast.
Adian Hutchinson, defensive end. Both of those players are professional players. They're going to be playing on Sunday. So
absolutely. Adian has a workout tape that they showed a couple weeks ago. It's mind-boggling what he can do. I mean, just his regimen for getting together. It reminds me of J.J. Watt.
Yeah,
he's just a beast.
His dad played for the University of Michigan as well, Chris Hutchinson. So he has a pedigree, as far as being a top player. But they talking about Aiden being in the top 5 in the draft.
Should be
come this spring. So
should be.
So we look forward to that game next Saturday up at the Big House. Michigan v. Ohio State. Again, a lot of folk are not giving Harbaugh and them a chance, but I'm one of the guys that think that they're going to surprise some people, man. And they're gonna make it a close game. I'm not saying they're going to win just yet, but I think it won't be 56-7. I can guarantee that.
Hey, King, let me ask you this. As a coach, how do you get your team ready for a juggernaut like this? I mean, you can have a great squad, but when you see what they did, how do you get your team together for that? Because I know, on my PlayStation team, I just trade everybody. It's, I get better players, but
Right.
You're a real coach, so.
No. I mean, one thing about the University of Michigan this year. Now, I don't know if they had done this in previous years, but one of their statements of the year was, "What did you do today to get ready for Ohio State?" And they've been doing this since January.
Okay.
Since the winter. What did you do individually to get ready and prepared for Ohio State? And I think that's the kind of approach that you have to take to this game. It's not getting ready this week. We've been getting ready all year.
All year for that.
We've been getting prepared all year. As I tell my players, man, and I equate, football contests to combat. I mean, to war.
Absolutely.
And the best time to prepare for war is during peacetime. And I really explain that to them. The best time to prepare for a war is during the peacetime, when we can get our bodies ready and get our minds ready for these tough battles that's coming. But for Ohio State, for the University of Michigan right now, the war is at your door. And that's how you get them ready, man. And it's a rival. And you come to that school, you know that school in Ohio is your rival. And you have to prepare yourself for that. So they do have a very, very good program, a very good football team that's coming up here. But, it's time to step up. It's time, to play some football, man. And that's why I can't wait to see it played on the field. Because everybody, the folk that make judgment on games are already calling it for Ohio State. But I think it's going to be a surprise when they get up to the big house.
I think the thing about it is the rivalry is getting closer. I think the legendary stats are, I think Michigan is 58 and Ohio State, I think it's like 51 or something like that. So that over the past decade, especially since Harbaugh's been here, that margin in the rivalry has shortened up a little bit. So we're going to see. It's going to be a great game for Michigan fans. I know they're glad it's at home. The world to be watching. It's going to be a great game, but I got to tell you, I just want to see them do well because they've got a Herculean event coming up this weekend. Kind of reminds me of some of those Rocky movies where Rocky's good, but you look at Drago and go, wow. It's going to be real.
No, they are a heavyweight.
We'll see.
They are a heavyweight team, and they show who they are on yesterday. But they got, and one of the things about Ohio State, man, they playing with a freshman quarterback and a freshman running back. Now these are stars. Now they ain't just your run of the mill freshmen. These are people that's going to be playing on Sundays.
Absolutely.
But they are young, and this is going to be their first trip into the big house.
A lot of upside.
Right. I don't know if you ever been to the big house, man, when it's sold out and they got over 104 or 5,000 fans in the stands, man. It is a daunting place.
I can imagine.
To be. They got you sitting right on top of each other too, and they get loud, and it's going to be loud, and we'll see how it all plays out. And as we talk college football, we always want to give shouts out to HBCUs, man. We want to be the show. We'll talk a little historically black college universities football, and right now Jackson State is ahead of the SWAC conference. They won yesterday. They beat Alcorn State 24-10. Alabama State beat Texas Southern 24-21. Florida A&M, they played Bethune-Cookman on yesterday. That they are rivals, and they beat Florida A&M 46-21. So right now the SWAC championship is set up for December the 4th, and it's going to pit Jackson State University University against Prairie View University, and everybody knows Jackson
gonna be a
State.
great game.
Yeah, and Jackson State is coached by none other than Prime Time himself,
Absolutely.
Coach Prime.
Coach Prime.
Deion Sanders is the head coach of Jackson
And
State.
both of his sons are playing.
Both of his sons are in the fold, and they're playing, for Jackson State. He has a lot of Division I players that he's recruited down there.
Took some players. And not only that, it's ironic that when you mention these schools, you're also mentioning the first time that the world saw a lot of great NFL players. Walter Payton came out of Jackson State. Michael Strahan came out of Texas Southern. These are Hall of Famers that came out of the HBCU system. So big ups to all the HBCUs and just our contribution to the big game, to the NFL, because there's a lot of great players that have come out of these schools.
Right, yeah, like Doug Williams from Grambling State University. But back, when we weren't allowed to play for some of these universities, and folk had to go to historically black colleges,
Absolutely,
to continue to play and get their education, we went there and we went to the NFL. I mean, you can look through the history of it. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of Hall of Famers had to come from historically black colleges. And I think, with the allowance of us, to play for some of the bigger universities, that we kind of stopped looking at HBCUs as a viable place to go and play football and get your education.
Absolutely.
But I tell folk all the time, man, still look at these black colleges, man. Look at
where
these
Jerry
black
Rice
colleges.
came out of.
Jerry Rice for sure.
Steve McNair.
We were blessed with the team. I coached at Detroit Central High School, and we sent a young man down to Bethune-Cookman last year, one of our seniors. He's a freshman down there now, and he's doing well. But I always tell him, take them trips down there, man. Go down there, because
Absolutely.
the atmosphere is a little bit different, man. It's different than what you find at some of the larger universities. I mean, it's more of a caring and nurturing.
Higher graduation rates, too.
For sure, because that's what they're into. They're into, you getting your degree, you succeeding,
Absolutely.
and that's the kind of atmosphere that you find down there. So it's always a opportunity to look at those schools, man. Some of the top players we got in the country need to be going to them schools, and that's one of the things that Deion Sanders brought to Jackson State. That he wanted to bring the level of resources, up to the point where as other universities has. Some of the things that University of Michigan has, from locker rooms and equipment and that kind of thing, was lacking at Jackson State when he got
Absolutely.
there. But he's brought in a lot of money, a lot of resources to the university, and they're getting their facilities up point. Because anytime you're trying to recruit a player, they always looking for resources. I have never met a star player that did not want to go to the NFL. Absolutely. I've never met them. They all think they're going to the NFL. They all want to go to the NFL, and so they look for resources that can help them get to that next level.
And not only that, Coach Prime has brought in friends of his to actually train. There's a YouTube video with Terrell Owens going one-on-one with some of his defensive backs.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And he has on his staff, he has former NFL players as well.
Absolutely.
Because again, the draw to the young people, man, is how can you help me get to the NFL?
Absolutely.
That's why Ohio State get, all the top players that they get, and Alabama get all the top players that they get, Oklahoma and others, because they got people in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And that be the main focus. For a lot of these young people, man, is how I can get to that next level. So we always want to spend some time, man, talk HBCU. My man here, he went to Central State.
I went to Wilberforce.
Wilberforce University.
Wilberforce, which means Central State's our football team. But
yeah,
let's be very clear. Wilberforce.edu, 1856.
That's right.
That's the first one.
If you ever been down there, bro, you can tell that it was placed there to to not be found unless you knew where you were going. Because back in 1856, you ain't supposed to be going to college or reading a book or doing none of that kind of stuff.
Let me just say this real quick. The founders of the school wanted to make sure that it was bought, paid for, and provided for us, by us. So they got a good deal on some land and made some great scholars come out of it. We were the school, real quick, that gave W.E.B. Du Bois his first job as a PhD. Mm-hmm. So we've made a lot of things happen. We didn't get into the cosmetics. We got into the academics. So proud of my school, wilberforce.edu. So it's a great thing.
No, definitely. And we got a lot of, alumni from historically black colleges in and around this Metro Detroit area, and they do represent their schools very well. Man. Mm-hmm. Homecoming and the black colleges, I will always say, is a beautiful place to be.
Absolutely. Central State produced one of the greatest offensive linemen that ever lived. Eric Williams, that played for the Cowboys. Vince Buck that played for, I think he played sometime with the Saints, and I know that there's just been a lot of great players from that area that really made an impact. Hugh Douglas came out of Central State, played for the Eagles in the end, so in the Jets he got drafted by. So it's been a lot of great experiences come out of those cornfields that you made reference to.
Yeah, definitely, man. The first trip I made to Central State, like I said, it was hard to find. I mean, yeah. we needed a compass to find where Absolutely. It was back in the
Absolutely.
woods. Bro. I got a little nervous, man. I'm like, man, where we going?
You a city cat, that's all.
Yeah, I'm from Detroit, man.
That's a little different.
What, they got log cabins here? Where we going?
Yeah, that's some rich country up there, but
it's some beautiful people down there, man. Mm-hmm. I did meet some beautiful people who love and support black endeavors, and I just say it just like that, man. Mm-hmm. We are a sports talk format, man, but we black first.
Oh, absolutely.
It is what it is. I mean, we want to come from our perspective as we talk, sports. Ironically, though, and we're gonna keep it moving and keep doing some things, but ironically, Michigan high school state championships are this coming weekend, and one of the city schools is still left playing, and that's Detroit King Crusaders. Shouts out to
big shouts out to them.
Yeah, Coach Spencer and his staff. They'll be playing for the championship next Saturday, 7:30, Ford Field. They're playing DeWitt High School, which is a very good football team, without a doubt. And I was just looking at some of the stats from Coach Spencer since he's taken over as the head coach. This is his fourth trip, to the state championship, winning 2, lost 1, and he looks to bring home that trophy again, Matt.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you this. What does that do for a program when you have that kind of legacy? Does it make more colleges look at the players, or does it make it easier for those that come from the middle school programs? Mm-hmm. How does that championship affect the high school game?
Well, definitely, though. On the first thing that you said about colleges, I mean, colleges from across the country come to Martin Luther King High School to recruit players. They got players all over the country, Division I players that are participating. And then secondly, as you said, top middle school players, top players in this area, they want to go to King. I mean, they want to go to King because King is winning. Okay. I mean, it's nothing like winning, man. Winning, draws folk to your program. So we definitely want to support that. And if you get a chance, man, Ford Field, Valley Sports, though, television, they do show all the games. All the championships will be televised, but we're asking Detroit to come out and support, man, Martin Luther King High School on Saturday, 7:30, Ford Field. It should be an exciting game. DeWitt is a formidable foe, and it should be a great game.
It's a great opportunity. We wish them well. We're going to take a moment. Rick, the intern, is doing some things. He's back there in the back, so we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll bring him in and do some other things. So just bear with us. And we also want to share with you our call-in number, 313-855-5737. Once again, that number is 313-855-5737. It's the King and Mack Show.
Hello, I'm David Wilborn, President and owner of D&L Security Personal Protection, where we specialize in all aspects of security: private investigations, armed security, church security, and CPO training. But the thing that sets me aside from the rest is church security. You don't necessarily have to have an officer in the house. Some churches don't feel comfortable with that. But what I can do is I could come in and do a security consultation. I can give you a plan of action that will make you feel comfortable. Also, I specialize in CPO training. The one thing that I do that no other security company is doing right now, I offer in-class and I offer virtual training. That's right, you don't necessarily have to be in class. During COVID-19, everybody doesn't feel comfortable with that. So contact me, David Wilborn. My phone number is 248-506-8294. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my website, dlsecurity.org.
And we're back with the King and Mack Sports Show. Like I said, we always coming to you live from Southfield, Michigan, with the program, man. And it's a Sunday morning. We always talk sports on Sundays, man. Get this thing going.
Absolutely.
Pro football.
We're going to pray for your Lions today.
We're going to have to recap a little bit of that Lions Steelers, man. I know because last week you were so confident that these boys was going to do something, and I told you that I felt very confident that the Lions.
I don't know what you did before you came into the station, but you got mercy, and just be thankful. You had a subpar team play a team that played subpar. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, and one of the guys that came to our watch party, good friend of ours, Mr. Ken Scott. We want to bring Ken Scott to the program and let him introduce himself and tell a little bit about his business, and then we're going to talk some pro football with Ken as well.
Absolutely.
Ken, we here? Are you with us, Ken?
What's going on? How you all doing?
We
Real
good, brother. Glad to have you on, man. I know you came to the watch party on last Sunday, and we were rooting hard for those Lions, weren't we, Ken?
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. I want to thank you all, the King and Mack show, for inviting me. It's a pleasure being here with my brothers.
No doubt, man. We got to get you down to the studio, man. It's a beautiful place that they have here, man, and we want to get you a part of what we're doing, man. I know you're a sports guy. I know you like your football, and I ain't gonna tell them what team you are for, but I'm gonna let you do that when you get a chance. But I just want to talk a little bit about your business, man, too. I know you're a big real estate guy. I've been knowing you a lot of years, Ken, and I know you help people find properties and make deals and that kind of thing. Just kind of give a little bit on your background and how you became a broker and a little bit on the business.
Just remember, this is an hour show.
Definitely.
My name is Tim Scott. I'm a real estate broker for CSW Real Estate, and I've been in business for 23 years. A broker for, at this point in time, 16 years. Just been past president of the Detroit Association of Realtors. I'm presently a housing counselor for a good entity in the city of Detroit for NID Housing Counseling, where we educate the consumer on buying a home, getting their credit together, budgeting, what have you. I'm also helping another NID, Neighborhood Legal Services, with helping the homeless, veterans, reentry, people that are domestic violence victims and what have you. To locate homes within the city of Detroit using the Housing Choice Voucher or a Section 8. But everything revolves around real estate, man. I mean, one of the most important things is to gain black wealth. And what we're trying to do is help the consumer transition from being a renter to being a homeowner.
Definitely, man, and that's important. Again, like you said, most wealth is built through real estate. Ken, what's the market like right now? I know we're coming through a pandemic, and is it a buyer's market, seller's market? What's the market like in this area, Metro Detroit?
Well, depending on where you are and where you want to relocate, it varies. Somewhere between March and say July, maybe August, there was a seller's market. There was a definite seller's market because there was low inventory, and then it eased up, and now it's going back to the seller's market. So a person that's trying to buy a home at this point in time, or even sell a home, it's a very competitive market. You have to have your ducks in a row. I mean that you have your credit score, in most cases over 640, so you can take advantage of the down payment assistance programs. Make sure that also people are passing up on the ugly house, what I call the ugly house, the house that needs a lot of rehab or renovations and what have you. I specialize in that in the sense that we do the 203K, which is rehabbing homes, those ugly homes that people pass by every day that are in neighborhoods like Bagley and East English Village and Rosedale Park and what have you. Those homes that have gone through a lot of wear and tear over the years, they still can be rehabbed and like the investors would rehab the homes. But at the same time, only this product is specifically for those who are going to be primary homeowners, and they have to be able to take advantage of that program. I work with a number of lenders that can help transfer that home or transform that home into a home that you desire, that you're comfortable in, that you don't have any buyer's remorse in or what have you.
Got you. So can you give up that number, man? I want people that want to reach you. How can they find you?
They can reach me at 313-819-7065. That's 313-819-7065.
And what's the website? You got a website that they can look at? I know a lot of people are tech savvy and they like to, go online and find out what's going on with CSW.
Absolutely. CSWRealestate.com. We have a number of programs out there, up to $20,000 in down payment assistance that people can take advantage of, as well as the renovation loans or the rehab loans, where, like I said, people can transform that home from the ugly house to the beautiful house.
So, yeah, definitely, man. Let's give Ken Scott a call and reach out to it. We support black business on this show, man. And he's one of the, like I said, one of the oldest people I know, that's been involved in real estate over a number of years. Like I said, 23 years in the business. And we need that experience. So
that's like the last time the Lions had a winning season, about 23 years ago.
Something like that. But Ken, we got to get back into our pro football. And I know you're a fan of a team, man, that's been doing very well. And I'm going to let you say that, and then we're going to talk about who they play today.
Well, let me say it this way. I would be very remiss if I didn't mention my hometown team.
That's right.
I was born and raised in Kansas City, and I will live and die with Kansas City Chiefs all the way. Now, the Lions, I keep hope alive, but at the same time, the Chiefs, they've had a bad stretch over the first few weeks of NFL season this year, but at the same time, it seems like they're getting on track. And Mahomes, Kelsey, and what's my boy's name? Can't think of his name.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, right, absolutely.
Got to be talking. Yeah, you got to be talking about the cheetah, man.
He challenged an Olympic runner to a race.
Yeah, no,
I can't say enough about it.
For sure. And Ken, they've been in the last two Super Bowls. Kansas City Chiefs have been participants.
Absolutely.
They won one and they lost one. Mm-hmm. And so they got a very good team, very good franchise, known franchise. I think the AFC trophy is named after the late owner, Lamar Hunt.
It is. And Eric Bieniemy should be a coach in the NFL, a head coach in the NFL.
He's their offensive coordinator.
But you all know that there was a history between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys?
No.
The Cowboys.
The
Cowboys originated in Kansas City.
Okay.
All right, I can't say I knew that for sure. I mean,
No, I didn't know that.
I think I might have heard that one day in passing, but I never really investigated it. But that's who they play today. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys v. Kansas City Chiefs today. It's the 4:00 game nationally, and a lot of eyeballs will be on it. What you think about that today, Ken?
I said it like this: it's going to be a close game, but at the same time, I tell you, this is going to come to no surprise to anybody. But I think Kansas City is going to squeak this one out.
Well, we got a Kansas City fan saying Kansas City gonna win. I mean, hold the presses. A guy gonna go with his team gonna win. No doubt about it. It should be a great game.
You gonna put some nonies on it? Do you believe in them like that?
Dallas has kind of, I wouldn't say weak schedule, but they haven't played the premier teams that's going to test them.
Right.
And I think this will be the one team that tests them because Kansas City is known for its comeback.
That's true.
That's
very true.
Been born and raised in Kansas City, as well as those people that live and die with the Chiefs.
So we got you down, man. I'm writing it down.
I'm writing it down too.
Ken Scott says Kansas City today in a close game, a well played game, and we're gonna talk about it next week when we get back and kind of critique what's going on. Ken, I want you to leave that number with us, man, and we want to thank you for your time and thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you, man.
We're gonna get you in the studio. That way you can talk, football and real estate and wealth.
Now, he knows real estate. He don't know football.
Black wealth. I like that there.
And listen, I wish you all the best. The King and Mack show. Thank you all for inviting me on your second show and everything. It should have been on the inaugural show, but I won't hold that against you. But I wish you all in the world.
Family treat you worse, boy. I tell you.
Thank you, Ken. We appreciate you, brother, and keep doing what you're doing, man. If I'm looking for a property, I know who to call. Ken Scott, CSW Real Estate. Let's give it up for him.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thinking that.
And that's one of the good brothers in and around Metro Detroit, man. Been in the business a long time, and big, huge Kansas City Chief fan. Mack, we gotta touch a little bit on what happened last week.
Oh
man.
yeah, let's go and get it out there.
I know
that's
a sore point for you, bro.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. It hurt. I just wish everybody that attended that game. First of all, thank God we didn't go because we planned on going. Everybody that went to that game should have been given a refund when they walked out. That game was horrible.
Yeah.
I'd rather have seen a PAL game on national TV than watch that godforsaken game.
But
it was horrible.
It was not well played. Let me just say that.
But you know what the saddest thing about the whole thing is?
Yeah.
And I promise this is true. It's documented. Fox 2 said Monday morning, at least they didn't lose. That's how they started the broadcast off. I could not believe that we are at a point where we are so hungry for a win that we celebrate a tie. I'd rather have lost. I wish we'd have lost. I wish the guy would have made the kick, and then we just would have lost and would have dealt with it, and we would have moved on.
Me too, man. For that, I wish you'd have made it as well, man. But when you're 0-8, man, I mean, you got to take what you can get, bro.
Come on, man. Those are professionals. This is not a hobby.
If we tied them, we tied them. Because you wasn't talking about a tie last week.
No,
I know
wasn't
that.
talking about a tie.
You were saying we was going to get ran out of town. That's
you were
what
supposed
you
to get run out of town.
And,
I mean, we only had, 9 starters really playing, but it's okay.
And it didn't happen.
No, it did not. It did not. And the Chargers will pay for it today.
So
yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about today then. The Los Angeles Chargers
your pick for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers. So what say you on that, Mac?
We got injuries, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be close. It's going to be a good game. But we got to pay. We have to atone for last week. We owe Steeler Nation something for last week. So we're going to show it. I've been told Mason Rudolph is going to be starting quarterback, but I'm looking forward to really the defense stepping up and making sure we handle that thing. So we're going to squeak it out. I say we probably win by 6, but we'll take care of that business.
Okay. Well,
We're going to give them something they can feel for sure because, like I said, Steeler Nation is not happy.
No, that's and that's a pick. You said, Steelers today by 6, and I got to be against you, Mack.
Of course,
you know that, bro.
Of course, you can. I mean,
just follow what you say.
Nah, never.
No, you made a big boo boo last week. So,
man, and you know what? I'm a man up and admit it, bro. I can't even watch that game. Usually because of schedules, you can't get all of it like you really want it.
Right.
It's like a movie. You see it a second time, you see something you didn't see the first time. Like
Definitely.
I saw this James Bond movie. I saw it twice, and every time when I see it, I see something different. Took OG Salas. But I don't ever want to see that game. I don't even want to see that game if we get locked down with Corona again. You know how they played the old game?
Right.
I hope they don't even play that game. I hope they burn the tape. It was horrible.
16-16. But no,
the Lions should have. I'm gonna be just real honest. The Lions should have won, which is even more pathetic to say than anything. But it was just horrible.
Yeah, no, it was bad football. I can't argue that.
It wasn't even football. It was what ball? Because I don't know what they were doing.
But I'm going to take the Chargers today, though, Matt.
Of course you are.
I think the Chargers are. They're up and down. They're currently they're currently 5-4.
Mm-hmm.
But I think today they will take care of the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you a score too. I'm gonna give you 27-20.
Okay.
Chargers today.
Okay.
And, we always got our standing bet.
Oh, we do.
We ain't gonna stop doing that.
No.
So you can get a little bit of that money back.
Yeah,
that you lost last week.
Last week is just one of those things. It's like when you go out to eat and you think it's gonna be good, and you look at it and you're like, it's not like the commercial. So I mean, it's just I'm gonna take it as a loss. And I'm gonna man up and take it, but we're not losing anymore. I said the Steelers are gonna be 13-4. I stick by that. I'm one of the only people in the country that said it. So when the world comes to check out the King and Mack show Sundays at 11, they'll be like, yeah, that's the guy that said 13-4. So I stick with
the only guy.
I own it. The only. Yeah.
And this one, they can't even do that. They got to go. They got to go like 13-3-1 now because
right.
they got that tie with the Detroit Lions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lions again are on the road today. They're in Cleveland.
Yep.
We got the Browns.
Yep.
So Detroit Lions versus Cleveland Browns. First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Been down there. Very nice stadium. Nice folk down there as well, man. You want to ever go on a road trip, a road game, man?
Cleveland's a good spot.
Yeah, Cleveland is a very nice spot. Right now, Jared Goff, quarterback for the Detroit Lions, is not going to play. He's out with injury.
Right.
Absolutely. And a lot of people are happy about that. Me too, included.
I mean, let's just be honest. The guy does not want to be here.
I don't know about that though, Matt.
Period.
You say that, but
when they traded, let's go back to the original story. When Coach McVay called him, he hung up on him when he told him he was going to Detroit. This is the same Detroit Lions team. Now correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
This is the same Detroit team when the Patriots were trading Gronk. Gronk said, "I'd rather retire."
No, I mean, no, he wouldn't be the first. He wouldn't be the first guy that didn't want to come to Detroit. But Goff had 30 million reasons to come to Detroit.
I mean, I get that, but he
I don't know what you're trying to be happy with, but if you're giving me $30 million, come play football, bro.
I bet
what
you
are
he's
you
not
talking
here.
about?
I bet you he's not here next year.
Man, he may not be because
I bet you he's not here
he's
next
been
year.
a big disappointment.
I bet you he's not here next year.
Of mine.
I bet you he's not here next year.
He sucks, bro. And it just flat out. Golf is horrible.
Golf is not good, and it's really unfortunate because there was so much upside. I remember when he was in the draft, there was just so much. He came out of a school and lit it up, and there was just all these big expectations. Took his team to a Super Bowl, so it even at that point in time it validated what people were saying. Because as you know, in Detroit, there's some teams that never get to the Super Bowl, but. He just has not turned out to be the player. You know, the first two quarterbacks in that draft have not really proven who they are. His name
Carson
escapes me.
Wentz.
Yeah, him and Wentz. You know, they were kind of trying to make them Hall of Famers before they even touched the pro stadium. So it's just interesting to see how time has proven that it's not all there.
Yeah, no, golf is a University of California product, and he did have a great collegiate career.
Absolutely.
And was drafted pretty high by the Rams. And they were successful a couple years as well. He ended up playing in the Super Bowl and that kind of thing. But coming to Detroit, he has not proven to be a quality quarterback for us at all.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just is what it is.
And on the flip side, Matthew Stafford is breaking his own personal bests with the Rams, the team that I predict to win the NFC and play my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl. We're not losing anymore.
Wow. And every time I hear that, man, I have to just shake my head.
I know.
Because this guy is delusional.
No, sir.
If he thinks that the Steelers and the Rams are going to play in the Super Bowl.
That's right. But you know what I can't wait for, because you're going to the Super Bowl and we're doing a Super Bowl special thanks to our guy Miles. We're going to make some good stuff happen. And what's going to be so exciting is that the world is going to be tuning in, because I'm the only guy that said it.
You are. You on that hill all by yourself, Mac.
Absolutely.
And that's good, though. I mean, you got to be about your convictions, man.
Absolutely.
If that's what you see, there's no reason not to stand on that. But
For the
I got
record,
to
I was close last year. My guys went 11 straight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a little validity in what I'm talking about, just a little bit.
No, a little bit. I mean, yeah, that's how I became the king and Mac.
Here's one thing I know for sure: the Lions not going. Now that prediction, there are others that agree with me.
That's the biggest joke in town. That the Lions, we will, and I'm gonna say it here on the King and Mac Sports Show. We will get to the Super Bowl. It won't be in 2022. But we will.
You're gonna host the Super Bowl again before you get there.
We will get to the Super Bowl.
You'll host it. You'll host it
again.
And I think that was great for the city, because I remember that we played Seattle.
Yeah.
The only unfortunate thing for us as a city is that Pittsburgh was too close. And what I mean by that is, Seattle fans had to travel. They had to spend hotel. They had to do some things. Pittsburgh people came down for the game. After the game, they left.
Right.
So if we get the opportunity to host it again, which I'm hoping to be very soon, I think it'll be great.
No, definitely. I know it's a contingent of people within the city, business leaders and civic leaders as well, that are interested in bringing the Super Bowl back to Detroit. See, the only problem that we face is that cold weather cities. They on a like a 15-year rotation to get the game.
Right.
And it's only a couple. You got to have an indoor facility to do it.
Sure.
So Minnesota.
Well, that's why they built Ford Field, to get the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, and they got it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they got it.
They gave it to the Forest, without a doubt, and deservedly so. Man, we are one of the older franchises that's in pro football. So
absolutely.
And that's good. I would like for us to definitely host it, but I do want us to participate in a Super Bowl in my lifetime. So I'm going to stick and stay with that. Brad Holmes, the general manager of the Detroit Lions. Come on now, let's get a better product on that field now. This is your. Right, this is your first year, so I'm not throwing nobody under the bus in the first year. But coming up, man, we got to do better, man. We got to do.
And I think you deserve better. As a matter of fact, there's an article where the commissioner is getting on the Lions about poor ticket sales, but yet the league overall per capita is doing well. So I know that there's going to be ongoing desire to not only just put a better product on the field, but to have a better experience for those that support the Lions.
Right. I am a season ticket holder, and a lot of my friends laugh at me, and I get
tax write-off.
I get it. I get it. They just been in my family so long, and Rest in peace, my stepdad, Calvin Owens.
Deep condolences.
I wanted to keep the tickets going.
Sure, absolutely.
And I want to pass them along to my daughter maybe as a family heirloom.
Absolutely.
That we are Lion fans, man.
I mean, that's good. I mean, like I said, love the city, glad to be in. When you're from Memphis, the era that I grew up in, we didn't have any pro teams, so I'm excited to have a city that has the major sports trilogy. But by the same token, I think the city should do and the team should do due diligence to make sure you put a competitive team on the field. That's all I'm saying.
And we are working to bring a representative from the Detroit Lions on the program and kind of talk about the future and future plans and that kind of thing. So we always want to work with our professional teams in this market.
Absolutely.
And expose them, to the global podcast platform that we have. And there's a couple other things that we just want to touch on quickly. Sure. With the program. It was a big fight, man, last night. And I don't know if nobody stayed up to watch it, but it was a welterweight fight with Terrence Bud Crawford v. Sean Porter.
Okay.
Two welterweights, one champ, one former champ, and Terrence Crawford was victorious. He won with the 10th round TKO of Sean Porter. A lot of people don't know Bud Crawford, man, but Bud Crawford is a excellent fighter, man. I've had a chance to watch several of his fights. I'm a big fight fan.
Okay.
And he's arguably right now, pound for pound, the greatest fighter on the planet. That was something that Floyd Money Mayweather held that position, for a number of years into his retirement, and nobody's kind of stepped into that space.
That's a big shoe to fill.
Oh yeah, but Bud Crawford, he's from Omaha. You get a black man in Omaha, but he's from Omaha, Nebraska, and great fighter. If you ever get a chance to YouTube some fights, man, check out Terrence Bud Crawford.
Okay. Who does he remind you of?
You know what? He's a technician.
Okay.
So he's kind of like Floyd in the sense that they're kind of the same weight class, but he has a lot more power than what Floyd had. But he's a great fighter, very good defensive fighter, like Floyd.
Floyd's a great defensive. Floyd can go 8 rounds just watching you miss him.
You can't hit Floyd, man. That was one of the greatest things about Floyd. I mean, Floyd, big mouth, got all the publicity, but people didn't realize that this guy was he was a genius at fighting. I mean, he
absolutely
started fighting when he was very, very young, 3 and 4 years old.
From here, Grand Rapids.
From Grand Rapids, Michigan, man. His dad was a fighter. Uncle was a champion fighter as well.
Olympics.
So yeah, he honed them skills, man. He worked and worked and worked. And then he understood prize fighting, man.
Right.
Prize fighting is about money.
Absolutely.
If you putting your life on the line, you want to get paid.
Well.
And he figured all that out, and he's made more money than anybody in the history of boxing. And he's
helped other boxers make money.
Oh yeah, he's still involved. Through his management company, the Money Team, he's still involved in putting on fights and managing fighters and that kind of thing, man. So big shout out to Floyd Mayweather, man.
Definitely. He's money.
Definitely Money May. Man, lastly, man, it was something in the news today, and it's kind of a little bit off sports, but we just wanted to bring it, to the show because we're a social program as well. The two gentlemen that were convicted of killing one of our icons, Malcolm X, were exonerated over the last week, man. They found evidence that these people did not do the killing. Man. They did not kill Malcolm Mack. And my question is, if they didn't do it, who did it?
Well, I think you have to have a concentrated effort to want to find out who did it. I think we've got a number of situations that the Innocence Project has worked and found that there's evidence. And I think in this particular case, there was some evidence that was held back for a number of years.
That's right.
thank God we've got a state here in Michigan where the AG is committed. I know the Minnesota AG is committed. There are certain states that are working towards making sure that innocent people go home. So I just think there should be a mandate amongst those that work with these cases to really make sure they've got the right person, or as well as give the families justice and be committed to finding out what really happened. I mean, we're still looking for Hoffa. So.
Oh, definitely, and it's something that we're gonna keep, keep on the airwaves, man. We're gonna keep looking into, man, because again, that's big, man. That's one of the black icons, man. And people try to put Minister Farrakhan involved in the killing of Malcolm, and that was a falsehood. That was a lie on that brother. So again, we're gonna stay talking about it, stay getting information out of it. But Mack, we got to wrap it up, man.
Absolutely.
Our time goes by fast.
Yes, it does.
Something you want to say? And
just want to say we appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is our 3rd episode. There's more coming. We appreciate you growing with us, learning with us, and we look forward to bringing you more content in the days to come.
Definitely, and we're gonna start at our next show. We're gonna start our Black business shout outs as well to end our show. But we always want to give it up to Akani Media, Miles Dixon, and Podistic too. We want to thank these guys for what they're doing, man. They're getting a lot of information on the airwaves. So always a shout out to Miles and his team.
Yeah, we're getting big through Miles all over the world, even in Toledo.
Everybody have a good Sunday.
Have a great week.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
It's the king and the Mack, picking the players, reloaded and checking the stats.